It's not often that everything goes exactly your way, especially when playing Rocket League. While you can have good moments, there usually is at least one or two things that will go wrong. Even on days where you're doing well, you may out of nowhere start absolutely whiffing the ball and having everything go wrong. Maybe you're playing solo duel and you have a lead from the start, but somehow still lose in overtime. Everyone has these moments, especially Plats. That's every moment for them. But what about those legendary moments when everything goes perfect? Everything goes according to plan. You set out to do what you want, and it comes with ease. While these moments are rare, when it happens, it can be a story worth telling. A story like this. I'll introduce everyone involved. Here I am, a grand champion in solo duel. And this is my opponent, the villain of the story, a grand champ 2 in solo duel, and a grand champ 3 in doubles, almost dipping their toes into SSL. This player, whose name I've decided to leave out, is one of the most toxic players I have ever had the pleasure of absolutely destroying. I'm not gonna hide anything. This guy was super toxic. He got super cocky, and he got dicked. So let me walk you through the 3 games of absolute embarrassment this guy had to face. Our story begins late at night. I hadn't played Rocket League for a day or two, so I decided to warm up with some solo duel. For many, solo duel is not the idea for a pleasant evening, but for some reason, I find 1v1s relaxing and enjoyable. I decided because I hadn't played for a while, I'd go a little bit tryhard. After all, it was ranked. I got into a match and scored a few goals, a kickoff goal here, a demo or a bump there, to which my opponent would spam okay. Nothing too bad. Every time he would score, he'd spam what a save, which at this point literally means nothing to me at all. So I would brush it off and keep playing. In between one of the goals, however, he typed out a strongly worded message, even going AFK into the next kickoff to finish typing. The exact words he said were, "You are a sweaty, try-hard, fucking," followed by a word I'm not comfortable saying, "that should go off themselves before this game is over. Queue up against me ever again, and I will destroy you. No cap, you're trash." Now, I said these were his exact words. He did typo a lot, and his grammar wasn't that great, so I only fixed that, but he did literally say all of this, and after a goal or two more, he rage quit. A fine encounter, not much out of the ordinary, maybe a little bit more toxic than a normal match, but I got to learn that you're not supposed to really try hard in ranked or else you get flamed for it. Now, I'll admit it, what he said actually left a smile on my face, and genuinely had me hoping that I would queue up against him in the next match, which, as a good story goes, is exactly what happened. I started off the match and decided to get right in his face. I pointed out that he talked a big talk and then rage quit right after. But since we queued up again, I'd like to see what he's got. Which he ignored and was already typing up an essay for how to be cocky in Rocket League. As the match was starting, and this guy was pointing out how he's absolutely going to destroy me, I realized I have one of 2 options. I can either win by tryharding, as I'm sure would have worked, or I can make this kid eat his own words and freestyle on him as much as I can. One option would more than likely land me a safe win, but the second option, if pulled off correctly, would mean free content. So of course, I did the latter. Now, I don't really do well under pressure, but as I said, this was one of those rare moments when the stars aligned and everything clicked. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was karma for this guy's toxicity. Maybe it was luck. Or, most likely, it's because I was listening to Taylor Swift on full blast. As the match was starting, I was nervous, but confident that I could pull something off to maybe shut this kid up. Right after kickoff, I did a thing, and I'm not even sure what I did or why it worked, but I guess it's a start. And after one or two successful fakes, I got some space, so I figured I'd go for a breezy flick. It bar downed, but luckily went in after the opponent failed to save it. Only a few goals in, and everything was going perfect. My confidence was up, and this player was on tilt. After another kickoff goal that I decided to make flashy, and it somehow worked out, the opponent started typing again. Which, this time, there's nothing really that I want to repeat what he said. Many slurs were typed, and there were many requests for me to kill myself. But dude, it's car soccer. Chill. As I've come to realize, it's usually best to ignore these messages. So, I just put a simple update of the score in the chat, just to remind him that he hadn't scored yet. And following that, I got 2 clean goals, back to back, making it 7-0, which brings up the question, is it more disrespectful to let him score, causing it to be 7-1 for Brazil, or do I not give him any satisfaction of scoring whatsoever? I decided, just this once, Brazil was not the answer. I went for a goal that I've only been practicing in free play, but I've never actually pulled off in an online match, not until this game. I don't know if it was the shot that I went for that was the game breaker, or the fact that he had talked big talk and then got 8-0'd, but this sent him off. He started typing all the slurs and explaining how shit I was at Rocket League, before ultimately quitting the match. Excited to see if I could get into another match with this player, I queued up again, and just as you'd expect, I didn't get into another match with him. But the game after that one, I did. This time, he didn't say a word. And this time, it only took 2 goals to finish the match. The starting kickoff went in my favor, and I went for another breezy that was placed top corner. Again, he didn't say a word. The next goal wasn't long after, and I successfully got a clean fake on him. And at this point, roughly 45 seconds in, I decided it was time to type a simple GG. Toxic? Yes. Deserved? Definitely. He didn't reply, but instead, he quit the match without another word. The moral of this story? Don't be super toxic to random players just because you're losing or you think you're better than them. I'm someone that's all for some wholesome toxicity with what a saves and all that, but this guy took it way too far, over car soccer of all things. I kept this player's name hidden, but if you're out there watching this, and you know this is you, just know, you got absolutely dicked.